Some people are absolutely disgusting.
Y'all, this is nuts. This 38-year-old married mother went and got into bed with two 15-year-old boys after she and her husband got into a fight. You decide to do this staycation thing with your family to try to work on things and have a good time, and then you get into an argument with your husband, and then you go and do that?
You know, you're in your 30s and you feel attracted to a teenager. Please don't do it.
This woman, Allison Lee Chardon, is being charged for her activities with 14 and 15-year-old boys. This is a married woman, a mother, and she decided that the best way for her to get over a fight with her husband was by being with 14 and 15-year-old boys.
Lonely housewife here is Allison Lee Chardon, and she is being charged after she admitted to SAing two teenage hockey players while she was on vacation with her husband and children.
She is at the very least a sociopath and perhaps even a psychopath.
Today's video is about a woman named Allison Lee Chardon. She's from Minnesota, and she is a 38-year-old married woman with children who was having a staycation at a hotel. This hotel was located in Roseville, and at the time when she was staying there was an entire hockey team of teenage boys that was also staying at this hotel. I'm really wondering, what does this woman and a hockey team of teenagers have to do with each other? The details are not only going to shock you, they're going to disgust you. Allison Chardon graduated high school at Roosevelt Area High School. She also studied at the University of Minnesota Twin Cities and at Concordia College. Allison said, and I quote, "I infuse passion into everything I do. If you don't love something, why do it? If you're going to do something, you must as well do it as well as you possibly can. These are all principles I try to live by each and every day." On January 18th, she posted this on her Facebook. It says, "You're only given one little spark of madness. You mustn't lose it." I especially love these videos that she posted on her Facebook December 2nd, 2022 of her singing a Christian song at church. She's encountered several legal issues on various occasions in the past. According to Minnesota court records, she was taken into custody by the Blaine Police Department on November 19th, 2020 for overnight parking. And then there's no surprise that she has reckless behavior. In 2022, she was arrested for traffic violations that involved allegations that she was driving under the influence. For this instance in particular, she was given a suspended jail sentence and she was placed on probation. On her Facebook page, you can see her posing with her 8 and 12-year-old sons. She describes herself as a wife, truth seeker, boy mom, singer, and foodie. And also on her social media, it shows that she was a server at a local restaurant before her arrest. It was on the night of January 14th of 2024 when Allison was staying at this hotel with her husband and had allegedly gotten into a fight with him. So she is in the hotel hot tub later that night, and while she's down there, just so happens that a couple of the boys from the hockey team are also down in this hot tub. Now, these two boys were 15 years old. Now, this hockey team was from Colorado, so they were not local. They were at this hotel because of a tournament. So in this hot tub, she starts opening up about her marital problems that she's having with her husband to two teenage boys that are around her children's age, okay? Allison proceeded to overshare information about her marriage issues to these boys by saying that she's cheated on her husband in the past and that he also has hit her. It's clear that she immediately has ulterior motives because they apparently swap Snapchats. I hear a lot of stories around Snapchat, and it's extremely disturbing, okay? Because this 38-year-old woman thought that it was okay to swap Snapchats with these boys, and they end up adding each other. Some of the details to this say that the boys took a photo with Allison and that she was enjoying the attention. Then after they left the hot tub, she went to the pool where she continued to engage with various boys and exchange social media information. So she was enjoying all of this attention that she was getting from these kids at this pool. She was eating this up. She couldn't just go to the bar and cheat on her husband with somebody her own age. Okay, she had to do this with kids. And then not only that, she's telling them, I've cheated on my husband before. Like, she was building up a situation that she wanted to happen. She wanted these boys to know, I am willing to cheat on my husband, and I am willing to cheat on my husband with you, even though you're my own children's age. So she goes back to her hotel room and they go back to theirs and they began talking on Snapchat. This is where she tells one of the boys that she had a fight with her husband. So picture this, you have this grown adult woman. She's hanging out in a hot tub with teenagers. She's swapping Snapchat information with them and then goes up into the room and has a fight with her husband. And then she proceeds to tell them through Snapchat about this fight that she had and asks them if she can come to their hotel room. So she goes to the boys' hotel room, and while she's in there, she begins asking them questions about how old they are. I mean, they're 15 years old, so you know they looked 15. She knew exactly what she was doing from the very beginning. People in their 30s know that someone who's a teenager is vulnerable and also somebody that people like this think that they can manipulate. She knew what she was doing from the very beginning. So after they tell her how old they are, then she proceeds to tell them that they're young enough to be her kids' ages. Her mentioning those facts about them being the same age as her kids leads me to believe that that was part of this thrill for her, and that is a whole other level of disgusting. So she's talking to these boys about inappropriate things that she should not be talking to them about, and then she proceeds to get into bed with them. And we need to talk about the level of disgusting you have to be to not only do this, but her children were in this hotel. It wasn't just her and her husband. Her kids were there. She left her kids in their room to go meet up with these boys to do this. And then while she's in there, makes a comment about her own children's ages. Now, when she was in this room, there was a third one in there who was apparently watching the situation. Certain things begin happening in this bed, and the third one is watching while this is happening. When the two boys came out about this, they felt very weird and uncomfortable about it, and they also said that they felt pressured to do the things that they did with her. And they claimed that they eventually told her that she needed to leave the hotel room, which she did. Now, to make this even more disturbing, she admits to it, and she also said that she asked them for a condom, but that she wasn't planning on doing anything with it. Now, one thing I want to mention that I find to be really concerning about this situation is that Allison was at this hotel in this hot tub with these boys. It didn't seem to bother her or concern her to be doing that. She effortlessly swapped phone numbers and Snapchats with them, and then goes to their hotel room, the same hotel that her family is staying at. It makes you wonder if this is not the first time that she's done something like this, because she also has young sons that probably bring friends over. I mean, she being a mother, she has access to other children. So with this type of behavior that she exhibited in this situation, it makes you wonder if this is not the first time she's done something like this. So she has been arrested, obviously, and was charged with 3rd and 4th degree criminal sexual conduct. Now, another thing that makes this so creepy and so disturbing is that after this happened, she then went to their hockey games. So she's texting them, she's talking to them on Snapchat, she's showing up at their games. The details in one of these messages that she was exchanging with this boy was she asked him if he regretted it, and he said that he did. And she apparently in the messages started freaking out saying, oh, that's so terrible, you regret your first time. So not only were these boys regretful after what happened, probably feeling guilty, feeling bad, feeling like they had done something wrong, which they're dealing with all of these emotions of what just happened last night. But then this adult woman that did this with them is now messaging them, asking them questions about what happened, and then she goes and shows up to their hockey game that day. Can you imagine how uncomfortable they were? They were probably thinking, we have to tell somebody about this. This woman is scary. I'm sure they felt very unsafe. They were quoted saying that they felt that it was very creepy that she showed up to their hockey game. So they have all these emotions going on of what just happened, but then on top of that, she's not just going away, she's now following them. Records indicate that Allison's husband filed for divorce on December 18th, 2023.
I am convinced that she is at the very least a sociopath and perhaps even a psychopath, because I promise you, she will never think that what she's done is wrong. She is never going to be able to see the error in her ways. She thinks, and she has no conscience about this. So she preyed on these children, and that's exactly what they are. They are children. She, as much as she is not thinking about her own children in her hotel room and her husband and the kind of mother and woman that she's supposed to be, she's also not thinking about, as all of us are horrified by this, she's not horrified by this. She is not horrified by her actions. And I'll promise you, she'll get up in court, she'll have a straight face, she'll be able to convince some people that she didn't do anything wrong. I am not kidding. And you know why? Because she's a sociopath at best. And she has no conscience about what she's doing. This is a very dangerous situation. I know that right now people are just shocked by it, but I want people to know the danger that exists with what she has done and inside of this woman, okay? Anjanette, she needs to be put away forever for this. She's never going to change.
When there is a woman, that things like this are often treated differently. The male victims are made to feel guilty or like they've done something wrong or that they should be ashamed for feeling uncomfortable. So I feel, really bad for these kids. I know that they had to have felt pressured, and because they were around other teenage boys, it probably fueled that even more. But there's one person that knew exactly what they were doing in this situation, and that was that mother. That was that 38-year-old grown woman who not only was in a hot tub with the boys, swapping Snapchats and phone numbers, asking to come to their hotel room, finding their hockey games, but she also made note of the fact that you're around my children's age, and then proceeded to do what she did with them. Now, something that I'm also not seeing mentioned anywhere during my research for this video is I'm not seeing anyone ask the questions, where were the chaperones? These boys were on a hockey trip, okay? They were staying at a hotel for their hockey tournament. There had to be chaperones and coaches somewhere in this hotel room. Somebody was supposed to be watching these kids, and they were not. Because if there was someone that was down in the pool area with them, then that means that they were just watching all of this happen with them interacting with this older woman and doing nothing about it. And if they weren't down there, that means that they were being neglectful and they were not watching these underage boys, making sure that they were being safe and protected, which is a major fail on their part. And if I was their parents, I would be taking legal action against the people that should have been watching them to make sure that they were safe. I'm so interested to see where this goes, but I feel like she will hopefully spend the rest of her life in prison. I feel like when it comes to things like this, they never give them the sentences that I feel that they deserve, which is always far worse than what they get. So I'll be interested to see where this goes, but I know that it had to be really difficult for those boys to come out and to speak out about what happened and to, get these charges pressed against her and to do the right thing. I'm sure her children and her husband are so disgusted with her, as they should be, and anyone that knows her. I feel like things like this is just unheard of. It's so like when I hear stuff like this, I'm like, what is wrong with you? You guys are gonna have to let me know what you think in the comments about this. And if you would like to check out my Patreon and members content, I will have that link down below. I'm going into filming a podcast episode after this, so if you would like to join my podcast here, I post an episode every single week, and I also also have videos that are too disturbing for YouTube, so if you'd like to check it out, feel free. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any more videos like this, and I will see you soon for another video.